How's it going, guys? It's Red, and in this video I wanted to go through everything that is going to change with the brand new Season 3 Reloaded update that is going to specifically affect the Zombies mode. Now, I am solely going to be focusing on things like weapon tuning and other things that are going to affect the Zombies mode, so I am not going to be covering any of the Dead Ops Arcade or the multiplayer content, unfortunately. But before we get into that, I just wanted to give you guys a massive thank you for 200 subscribers. It means so much to me, and you guys really just mean the world to me. And as a small thank you, I'm actually going to be doing my first ever giveaway. I'm going to be giving away a $25 gift card of your choice of PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, or Nintendo. All you have to do to enter is to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and to leave a like on this video, and to leave a comment down below saying that you like the video, and feel free to tell me how you guys feel about the state of Cold War Zombies at the moment after this update, and I will be choosing the winner after 1 week of this being uploaded. I am also going to be doing another giveaway every 100 subscribers, so my next one's going to be at 300, then 400, and so on and so forth. But as usual, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome Zombies content just like this. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss out on any of my future uploads, and without further ado, I hope you enjoy the video. So, the first thing up on our list to discuss is the brand new Cranked 2.0 game mode, No Time to Crank, which is going to be available on Firebase Z and Deep Machine, which is very interesting because Cranked got taken out of the game before Firebase Z was released, so we never got to play Cranked on that map. The main differences that this has from the original version of Cranked is that every mystery box location is going to be always active, so it's kind of like there's a permanent fire sale just with no discount. Also, the box is going to have an action movie-inspired weapon cycle in the mystery box, so in my mind, that's going to be things like LMGs, rocket launchers, crossbows, stuff that like Rambo would use. Players are also only going to be allowed to spawn in with the knife, which is very unique to this game mode because in literally every other game mode in this game, you can spawn in with whatever you want. Now, something that is a bit unfortunate with the restricted mystery box cycle and only being able to spawn in with the knife is that this version of Cranked won't be nearly as good at grinding for Dark Aether as the original Cranked was. Now, lastly for this game mode, the wall buys, crafting table, and main quest are going to be disabled in both of these maps while playing Cranked. Overall, I do think that this can be a fun mode to play every once in a while. I just hope that it stays longer than the original Cranked did. Up next, let's go over the Outbreak Tunings. There's not that many of them, but they are all very relevant. Obviously, there's the main quest that's going to be active at 10 AM Pacific time on the 20th, so when this is officially on YouTube, this is going to be active. They've also added fishing into the game, and they have also added a Orda encounter to Outbreak. Now, in terms of buffs and nerfs, it seems like they have nerfed the Panzer, requiring us to do less damage to break his jetpack. Now, they didn't give us any exact numbers, so I don't know exactly how easy this is going to be now. I don't know if it's going to be a lot easier, or if we won't even notice it. They've also tuned the Tempest to reduce chest, weak point health, and mitigate damage. They've also added more time before you fail in the Fury Crystal event, which honestly, out of everything here, this is what I'm most happy about, because this event can get really hard to do in the later rounds, and honestly, I failed this way more times than I didn't because of all the zombies that are constantly around you, and overall, I just think this was a really good decision. And honestly, that's all they really did for Outbreak. There's not that many things, but I mean, they're all really relevant. Now, something really important that they did here is they raised the maximum health cap on all enemies to make it more of a challenge past round 40. So all of the zombies are going to have more health than we have ever seen them before, and that is just, I'm really excited for that, because who knows, the game might actually be challenging again. Now, they have also taken out the exploit where you can become invulnerable when using the jump pads in the Tombstone Shadow form, which I personally didn't even know about, but I'm glad it's gone, I guess. Now, DLC weapons are going to finally be available to get from the mystery box, and they can also be earned as rewards from trials. And they've also fully removed one of the challenges in the trial machine. They've removed the taking damage and gaining health trial because of just how easy it was to exploit. I'm pretty sure that's the only one in the game you can go from nothing to legendary in just one trial. Now, they have also pretty much buffed all of the field upgrades by making all of them activate before you pull your wand out, which, if you don't know, is the name of the little gun that you pull out to use your field upgrade, which is really cool, but for me personally, the timings on a lot of things feel really weird now. Like, if you're using Toxic Growth, the bush is going to come out before you even pull out the gun. And, you know, for people that have been playing since launch and they really got like the timings down for, you know, when to press it, it's just gonna be like a whole new learning how to time things out. It's weird, but I guess it's cool. They also doubled the ammo in the combat bow. I personally still think that this is going to be a lot worse than the War Machine and the Death Machine, but who knows, I could be wrong. It could be really cool. Now, here is one of the biggest changes in the whole update. This is probably one of the most important things in the whole update, is there is finally a self-revive nerf. The nerf is that every time you craft one, the next one you make is going to cost 50 more high-grade salvage. So when you go into a game, the first one you're going to buy is 250 high-grade salvage. Then the next one's going to be 300, then 350, and then so on and so forth. Honestly, I think that this isn't quite enough to make self-revives just not still ridiculous. Because if you look at how much salvage people get in these long games of zombies going to around 100, 500, like the cost upgrade isn't going to affect them that much. But this is a step in the right direction. I'm happy that they're doing this. They just need to do a bit more in my eyes. Now, they have also fixed Deadshot Daiquiri to actually work with the crossbow. Like, for those of you that don't know, if you had Deadshot and you tried to, you know, aim with the crossbow, it just wouldn't hit their head. It was really annoying. But now, that's fixed. Now, speaking of the crossbow and the ballistic knife can now destroy dark aether crystals in Outbreak. I don't know how relevant that is, but we can do it now, so that's cool. Now, the last two things before we get into the actual weapon tunings themselves is that they fixed the ZRG to penetrate multiple enemies after it is pack-a-punched. Honestly, that is such a relief to hear. It was by far one of the most annoying things in this game. It basically made the ZRG unusable, and it is honestly one of the only weapons in the game that I straight up said no to, like, getting it gold. I have a video telling you how to get it gold for people that were, like, insane enough to go and do it, but just the fact that it didn't penetrate afterwards, like, after you pack-punched it, was just so annoying, and I wasn't trying to just go around, shoot 2,500 shots with that thing. And just with how slow the cockback is, it's just so annoying. I'm glad that it finally penetrates. It's not going to make that much of a difference, but it makes a little bit. And also, you can start putting Pack-a-Punch camos on your blueprints now, which is really cool. You weren't able to do that before. So for those of you that didn't know, if you spawned in with a blueprint, such as the dragon from the Krig 6, if you upgraded it with no camo on, you wouldn't get the Pack-a-Punch camo. It would just stay like it was when you spawned in with it. But now you can start putting all these cool Pack-a-Punch camos onto your blueprints, which is very cool. I'm really looking forward to see how all of these different blueprints and Pack-a-Punch camos really work together. Alright, so now we are officially into the zombies weapon tuning. This is going to, honestly, before we get into anything, I've already pre-read all of this, obviously. There's going to be an entirely new zombies meta, in my opinion. Everything is going to be drastically different. So, starting from the assault rifles, pretty much every single assault rifle is getting taken from a 2.8 headshot multiplier to either in between 4.2 or 4.5, which is absolutely just, it's ridiculous, honestly. Just pretty much either doubling or really close to doubling everything's headshot multiplier. I don't know, I feel like ARs are just going to be absolutely ridiculous, and they did it to every single AR. Like, I felt like the Far Out was already one of, like, the better guns in the game, and then you make it twice as strong with its headshot multipliers, and I also thought things like the XM4 and the Krig were pretty good before. I think that, just my first impression, I think that one of the best guns is probably going to be one of these ARs. I just don't know which one specifically right now. But that's basically the only change that they did to the ARs. They basically just made the headshot multipliers a lot more. And for most of the weapons, they just increased, like, the ammo here and there. I mean, so basically they're just going to have more ammo, they're going to do more damage. They're just overall better. This is by far the category that got the biggest buff. Moving on to the submachine guns, they basically got everything that the assault rifles did, just worse. They all, except the PPSH, I'll get to that gun in a second, all of them went from a headshot multiplier of 2.8 to 3.8, which, I mean, that's still fine, that's still good, that's, like, in the right direction. It's just not nearly as good as what the assault rifles did, and they also just got like stuff like increased ammo capacity, more damage here and there. But moving on to the PPSH, I wanted to talk about this specifically. It got a increased headshot multiplier from 2.8 to 4.2. It got a significant boost from the rest of the SMGs, and I already felt like this was probably the best SMG in the game right now for zombies, and just one of the best weapons in the game in general for zombies right now. And they also increased its ammo capacity from 80 to 100, and its stock ammo from 480 to 500. Now, that's honestly really insane, because this thing's just going to have pretty much infinite bullets in its clip. Like, you're going to have, like, just so many bullets in your clip. I don't know, I feel like the PPSH is probably going to be one of the top 5 weapons in the game after this. Now, moving on to the TAC rifles, they all got buffed pretty much in the same way. They all just got a crit multiplier from 2.5 to 4.2. It just really seems like Treyarch really wanted people to start aiming for the head or something, because, like, I mean, I get it, this is obviously to make it so that these guns are usable past round 40, like, since, you know, there's not a maximum cap anymore, but I mean, they're just kind of doing the same thing on every single gun. Now, moving on to the light machine guns, basically the only relevant thing they did with them is the exact same as all the other weapon classes. They increased their critical damage multiplier from 2.5 to 4.0. And, you know, some of them got their stock ammo decreased, some of them got it increased. If you want to see it all, I will have a link to all this in the description below. Now, moving on to the sniper rifles, for the Swiss, they have increased max damage from 150 to 175 and increased the minimum damage from 110 to 140, but they have decreased its ammo from 48 to 42. I thought that the Swiss already was one of the better snipers in the game, and then they're just making it even better. Along with the Barrett, they've increased its critical damage multiplier to from 4.0 to 5.5. Now, they've increased its max damage as well from 110 to 150. I already thought that the Barrett was one of the better snipers in the game, and they're just making it even better. Now, in terms of the Pellington, the Tundra, and the ZRG, they really didn't do much. They kind of nerfed them, to be honest. They just took away stock ammo from all of them, which is really sad. Moving on to the pistols, these guys aren't too special. There's just pretty much just the same thing, just small critical damage multipliers, and they all pretty much got decreased stock ammo. Now, moving on to the shotguns. This is one of the most interesting ones because the Howler was renowned as the best gun in zombies for a really, really long time, and it's even had some nerfs before, but it has a added mid-range damage of 56, and an increased minimum damage from 42 to 48. So they are making it a bit stronger, but they decreased the stock ammo from 90 to 60. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it just stronger, but you have less ammo. But the only problem I have with that is there's just so many ways to get ammo. Like, I just feel like that's not even going to be like that big of a problem. So who knows, the Howler might still be a really, really big player in zombies. Now, moving on to the Spaz, they basically just did the same thing. They made it have 15 shells in its clip instead of 16 when you pack-a-punch it, and they decreased the ammo stock to 75 rather than 112. Now, the upgraded Street Sweeper, the Road Rage, actually got a buff. They increased its stock ammo from 120 to 180, which is really cool because that gun really does blow through a lot of ammo. Now, for the launchers and the M79, all they really did was increase its stock ammo, which is kind of lame, to be honest, because all of the rocket launchers kind of, like, suck. And there's honestly just no reason to use them right now unless you're grinding for Dark Aether, which is really unfortunate because they're fun to use, but like I said before, they suck, and you're not going to get very far with them. I really wish they would have done more with these guys. Now, there is yet another nerf onto the ray gun, and honestly, I feel like this is just the final nail in the coffin for the ray gun. I feel like it's just officially dead, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. They decreased the minimum radius damage from 800 to 700. That's not that bad, but they decreased the stock ammo from 80 to 60, and they increased ammo capacity from 20 to 30. So this gun now has 30 shots, and it only has 60 in its stock. That is awful. And they made this thing, they decreased its minimum radius to damage, so stuff has to get closer to you to, like, actually deal a lot of damage. I don't know. I feel like just having 2 extra clips isn't enough. I feel like you're not going to make 10,000 points off of just that alone. So it's not going to be able to sustain itself, which means you're going to have a second weapon, which means that this thing can't just carry you anymore. And I personally don't agree with that. I think that for how much effort you have to go through to get the ray gun on D Machine, I feel like it should just be twice as good as every other gun in the game. But that's what Treyarch decided to do. The ray gun's dead now, and we're just gonna have to deal with it. Well, that looks like everything that they did with the brand new Season 3 Reloaded update. Now, if you happen to enjoy the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more awesome zombies content just like this. Also, make sure to hit that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. And until next time, it's been Red, and I'll see you in the next video.